Previously, Yogiri and Tomochika entered a different world ruled by sages, where the leader of sages granted the gift of power to all the students to increase the number of sages. But the sages are extremely ruthless, and after receiving the powers, all the students turned their backs on Yogiri and the other three. They even casted a charm spell to use 4 of them as decoys because a dragon was approaching them, so all the students with powers left from there, and the dragon kills 2 kids right there. But Yogiri was absurdly overpowered, because he just needed to say die, and his enemy would literally die, and that's how he saved Tomochika and killed the dragon. He's a walking death note. But things didn't end there. 3 sage candidates came back to confirm their death, but when they saw Tomochika alive, they thought to make her a slave. So Yogiri once again used his instant death skill to save Tomochika from those morons, but he spared one of them because he gave up his treasures and turned into a slave himself. So after getting that much fortune, Tomochika and Yogiri travels to the nearby town, but the gates were closing out near nightfall, so they rushed there to get in. But the language to communicate with locals was different, so the guards called in their supervisor for help. Before them, all the traders had entered the town. So Yogiri made up that he and Tomochika were separated from their group. Before this, Yogiri heard that sage candidates were going to the royal capital, so he asked for the direction. But Masahiko was ordered not to interfere with Sage, so he refused to help them out. So Yogiri and Tomochika entered the town and saw many of the fantasy-like beings. And a cat woman named Mireya comes to help Yogiri and Tomochika, thinking they are sage candidates. She offers her help for free to any of the sage candidates so that she can impress one of the future sage. Tomochika thought it would be better if a local shows them around. So they stick with Mireya for the town trip. Then after a few hours, Tomochika instinctively did some shopping, but turns out it was all a trap from the beginning. Mireya called out her buddies to steal all the money from Yogiri and Tomochika. Those goons thought Yogiri and Tomochika doesn't have any useful abilities. But useless sages like them could fetch a nice price at the slave market, but that was enough jibber-jabber. Tomochika tried to warn them, but Mireya and others took it lightly. So for instance, Yogiri killed all those from his back in a single word. So this time he tried to hold back a little to give only a half-death, but it didn't work as he thought. But at the end, he only tried to kill someone's eyes and it surprisingly worked out. Now Mireya understood she messed with the wrong person and begged for her life. But Yogiri wasn't planning to show them mercy in the first place, so Mireya and their leader tried their luck and ran out of there. But even so, that didn't help them, but one after another problem comes in to bother Yogiri. This time guard captain showed up. Yogiri tried to dodge her accusations. But Edelgard was watching everything from the start as she wanted to capture the leader of this goons by following these group, but since they all died, Edelgard warned them not to use their powers on her because she's been blessed with the protection of a sage, but one of her companion informs Edelgard that both of them have no powers or gift. Which makes Edelgard look bad, so George apologized for Edelgard's bad behavior. So Yogiri asked George for a nearby inn, then Yogiri and Tomochika found the best inn to spend the night. But then suddenly a ghost appears in Tomochika's room and claims she's a guardian angel of Tomochika, so Tomochika got mad at Mokomoko because she wasn't doing her job properly on guarding her. But what could Mokomoko could do? She was so scared of Yogiri that she couldn't show up when he's around, which means that Yogiri can kill even a spirit being with words. And that is why Mokomoko appeared now when Tomochika is alone. She asked Tomo to introduce her to Yogiri so that Yogiri won't kill her as he sees her. Tomochika agrees. Then Mokomoko revealed that she protected Tomochika from getting the gift of system, which means Mokomoko prevented Tomochika from becoming a sage, so she got angry. But Mokomoko explains that at first glance system gift appears nice, but at the end sage candidates becomes the puppet of the higher sages, and now that Tomochika is not a sage, she has become the successor of the Denura School of Archery and Mixed Martial Arts, and this could help her return to Earth. It was a soothing news she heard. Then, the next day, the concierge of the hotel named Celestina assisted them and gave them the best way to get to the capital. She even prepared some other handful stuff to hide their stats from others, and even booked 2 tickets for both of them to travel safely. Celestina was really handy. So Yogiri wanted Celestina to invest all of his fortune into something. Tomochika thought it was too much of a request in another world, but Celestina had no problem with it. The concierge were extremely competent, so Yogiri and Tomochika took the train to the capital, while the other classmates were all in the forest training themselves as per Celestina's investigation. Then Yogiri bends down with Tomochika as the whole compartment lost its roof from a powerful attack, and an announcement informed passengers that a sage was in a battle with the aggressor. Aggressors are like invaders and uses a giant robot, and sages protect this world from them, but the sage then killed all of the passengers for getting in his way. Because he finds it annoying people running around in panic, so Yogiri killed the sage knowing that he would try to kill him and Tomochika as well. There the aggressor comes down and shows he's not hostile towards him and offers to bargain. Yogiri asked him for a way to return back to Earth. But the aggressor was from a different world, so he didn't know of a way, so Mokomoko comes out and asked for a useful weapon instead for Tomochika and Yogiri. But away from there, that one goon who lost his eyes when Yogiri tried to only harm his eyes was brought back to Sage Lien. They tried to heal his eyes but nothing happened. So Lien replaced his eyes with a new pair from healing, and even then nothing happened, so she used her fangs to turn the Beastman into a vampire. But even after that the beast didn't get his eyesight back, and suddenly someone barges into their place. He was of a hero class and he had only one goal, that is to kill all the sages. This time he targeted Lane and made a huge blast, but Lien is an immortal vampire, so physical attack couldn't kill her that easily. Apparently sages had killed his lover Errol. So he wanted to have revenge on sages by killing them, but Lien threw the annoying fly out of there easily. She ordered a Delgard to find Yogiri and reports his instant death ability to Cheyenne because another sage died by Yogiri powers. But Cheyenne still thought Yogiri is not a serious threat and told Lien to focus on darkness instead, and as for Yogiri and Tomochika, they got a new weapon from the aggressor, a sword, which could turn into clothes for Tomochika, so once again she got embarrassed from things that kept happening to her. But for now, the episode 2 ends, so don't forget to like and subscribe to never miss any of our updates. Till then, take care.